नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। Myself, JVN Dr. Astha Sikarwar, Assistant Professor, Department of Organ of Medicine, FHS, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. Today's topic is from Robert's philosophy: vital force as expressed in functions, in health, in disease, in recovery, in cure. The life and composition of cells is of a complex nature. The power of each life to develop from single ovum into its own ego, unfolding and expressing itself for ever in its own way, and individuality never varying from the ideal that is once stamped to carry out to its perfection all the powers of adult life, distinguishing it from all other created species, is a marvel until we comprehend the principle of the vital force or energy permeating all creating things. That power, although defying analysis, nevertheless continues all through life as a mysterious manifestation of the vital function. It is the close study of these vital functions that becomes the chief study of the physician. In order to obtain a thorough knowledge of these vital four functions, we must study them in their manifestation during health. The one point most vital to observe is the course and direction of its expression, always from within outward. In health, all expressions of vital force may be expressed by perfect functioning of all parts of the body and by a sense of general well being. In disease, this expression is vastly changed. There is a sense of discomfort. The mental expressions are vastly altered according to the degree of disturbance. Physical signs and symptoms appear, and all because the vital functions are disturbed, either from external impressions having a depressing effect and the consequent reaction of the vital force, or from some hidden mass coming into its full expression in its impress on the vital force. External impressions having a profound effect upon the vital force are such circumstances as the shock of sudden news, either bad news or joyful news, or severe fright, such as shell shock we see with our soldiers, long mental and physical strains, and various other reactions. All of these external forces, when in conjunction with an already disturbed vital force, have very profound effects upon the vital functions, and they are manifested in a trail of symptoms which are expressed in different ways in varying individuals. The vital force is always attempting to recover from disease states. In the acute manifestations, the vital functions are often restored to complete harmony by and through their own power, and it is not worthy to observe the disappearance of symptoms in the reverse order of their appearance. This is well illustrated by the course of the appearance of symptoms in such manifestations as eruptive fevers. The rash appearing last is the first symptom to appear. It is the last to disappear. This order is always maintained in vision and recession of symptoms when the vital force is able to establish complete restoration of normal vital functions. Acute diseases may take on various forms. The assault may be so great as to destroy life in a short time. The vital force may be so over as to be unable to strive successfully against the combination of outward and inward assaults and be completely destroyed. On the other hand, it may be able to overcome the disease conditions without outside help by crisis. But when this happens, there is such a drain on the vital energy that it is a decided injury to the life giving forces. Because of the sacrifice of fluids, when crisis takes place, there is a lowering of the physical powers of the patient, and here again, his very life is in danger. When the vital force is not of itself able to make a complete recovery, either due to a hidden mass or an especially violent assault on the vital energy, the vital force often resorts to methods of bringing about a partial recovery. Remedies will assist in these acute diseases and very often save the sacrifice of the crisis and thereby the लॉस ऑफ फिजिकल पावर. जब वाइटल फोर्स खुद से रिकवर नहीं हो पाता है, फिर उस कंडीशन में हम लोग रेमेडीज देते हैं, वो और वाइटल फोर्स मिलके काम करते हैं. It will always remain unknown how this power works in conjunction with the homeopathic remedy to assist in conquering the assaults of the vital force, but that is does so and lowers very markedly the mortality rate in the acute diseases we know to be true. In acute diseases only is it ever possible for the vital force to rectify the condition without assistance. In chronic condition, this can never be done. The homeopathic remedy assists in the cure because it represents a superior force. No cure can take place unless a superior force is exhibited. The most potent form in the world of medicine is the potentized remedy, more potent by far than is the diseased condition. Under a cure, the symptoms of a deranged vital function always disappear in the reverse order of their appearance. This is true in acute as well as chronic disturbances. हैरिंग लॉ ऑफ क्योर हम लोगों ने पढ़ा है, उसमें ये 4 पॉइंट में से एक पॉइंट है. By cure we mean the complete eradication of disease states and consequently the complete eradication of the symptoms and the return to a condition of normal vigorous health. The vital force must first be set in order by the indicated remedy, and the understanding of this great law of cure has proven of inestimable value in this process, in that we can now definitely whether we are proceeding in the manner that will lead to ultimate cure of the patient or whether we are merely palliating or suppressing conditions. Improvement and cure come from within outward. Symptoms disappear from above downward. Complaints go from an important organ to a less important organ. Symptoms disappear in the रिवर्स ऑर्डर ऑफ देयर अपीयरेंस. ये क्या है? हैरिंग लॉ ऑफ क्योर है. एक हमें आइडियल क्योर के लिए ये सारे लॉ फॉलो होने चाहिए. This session powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapit Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention it in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.